I see those women that just tend to speak softer, tend to be more caring and nurturing, their body language, the way they look after themselves, the way that they relate with people, and you just look with admiration like, wow, I'd love to be like that. Firstly, femininity is a mindset. It's a way of being, and it's innate. It's in you. If you are a woman, then you know how to be feminine. But I need to say this, if you clicked on this video in order to learn how to become more feminine or just tap into your feminine energy a little bit more, you need to be doing this for you and not for anybody else or any sort of external validation. And we're gonna get into that a little bit more during the video. And so if you want to be ultra feminine, one thing that you need to know is that it's not all just about aesthetics. Your being in touch with your emotions is your femininity. Your nurturing is your femininity. Softness in the delivery of your speech is your femininity. All these things contribute to your feminine as a whole. These are the chapters of this video. Pause if you need to. In order to be somebody who radiates intentional, wholesome femininity, we need to start by discussing the difference between ultra femininity and hyper femininity. You've probably heard both terms used interchangeably all over YouTube, all over social media, but there's actually a difference. I love this topic ever since I learned about it a little bit earlier. The way that I like to describe it is ultra femininity is embodying and embracing, while hyper femininity is the outward expression. So being ultra feminine is the broader concept of femininity. It is an intentional embodiment of femininity in a natural way. It's internal, and it's not focused on whoever is watching. A woman who is in her ultra feminine state is radiant because she is sure of herself. She's soft, she's kind, she also has this soft strength about her. The thing is that we're taught to be this powerless flower in order to embody feminine energy, and that's just not it. Feminine does not equal weak. The ultra feminine woman, just like all women, enjoys beauty and aesthetics in an authentic way. It's never performative. She's also emotionally intelligent, and she trusts and believes in her intuition. Hyper feminine, on the other hand, is more of the aesthetic expression of femininity. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, but it does tend to be more the outward, exaggerated expression of being girly or being feminine. It's all focused on the way that you dress, the way you speak, the way you do your hair, your nails, just the way that you present yourself. But it becomes a bad thing when it lacks the substance, where the woman overemphasizes stereotypically feminine qualities, because you do not need to have a bunch of bows and bubblegum and heels in order to be feminine. Think, and I hate to say it, Elle Woods. Elle Woods before her character mindset glow up. The thing is that she was always smart, but in the beginning, she was portrayed as vain and as an airhead, even though she wasn't even dumb at all. It was just the way that she presented herself. This is the type of femininity often develops as a learned behavior in order to meet or even exceed the expectations of society, but that's a story for another video. And I hope you understand why I had to explain the difference. This is how you can radiate feminine energy, learn to soften into who you already are, and just be your best self. That is the woman of your dreams. A woman who radiates feminine energy prioritizes self-care. She looks after herself really well. Her appearance, her health, everything, even when nobody's looking. Being feminine and looking after yourself even when you're at home. So yes, this means looking after your health, what you put in your body, moving your body, but also taking care of your physical appearance. It means just keeping yourself up. Neat hair, looking after your skin, put together outfits, feminine colors and silhouettes and clothing. Also self-care of the body, your grooming, shaving or waxes, taking extra care of your skin, doing your body care routines, spending more time in the shower, spending more time to do your makeup. It's about making beauty a devotional practice because you feel like you're worth it. You know you're worth it. And it's never a performance for validation. Regulating your emotions and not suppressing them. When you're feminine, you're in touch with your emotions. You don't suppress. You allow yourself to feel, but also allowing yourself to feel without letting your feelings completely consume and control you. For example, if somebody that you love is acting up, whether it's a friend or a romantic partner, allow yourself to feel that way. Be able to identify exactly how you're feeling without letting those feelings consume you. You know that it's healthy to just let the feelings do their thing and then self-regulate, and also just be able to express those feelings calmly and honestly with yourself or with the person. Femininity is emotionally intelligent. It is not emotionally chaotic. This next one, and I love this one, allowing yourself to be multifaceted without feeling like your femininity is being threatened. You will be feminine 80 to maybe even 90% of the time, but at times you will exhibit certain masculine traits or masculine behaviors, like being assertive or goal-getting, but just as long as it doesn't overpower your feminine side without you yourself being masculine. I'll give myself as an example. I am a girl who presents herself in a very feminine way. I speak girly, I dress girly, I love everything that's just girly. However, I do enjoy Premier League football on the weekends, for example. And I can be that way knowing that enjoying that and sitting at tables where those things are being discussed and watched doesn't threaten my femininity at all. That side of me can live in harmony with my feminine. And I think this is where a lot of girls get it wrong. Some think that if you like things that are masculine, then you're a pick-me or you're looking for male validation. But that's not the case. Sometimes you can just enjoy things that are multifaceted. And quite often, actually, the way that it was received by other women particularly, it was like, you're a girl, why are you talking about that? And I only want to say that I get it to an extent because that's just the extent to which they've thought about it and they haven't thought about it further. But I'm telling you that you can be multifaceted without your femininity being threatened. Another example of multifaceted is Blair Waldorf from Gossip Girl. I've watched Gossip Girl like a million times, but the reason why I'm giving her as an example is because Blair is very ambitious. She is a go-getter. She knows what she wants, and she goes out to get it. Now, being very ambitious, being assertive, those are actually masculine traits. It's different if almost your whole personality is very masculine, then that's what makes you masculine. Being assertive, being competitive, those are all things that Blair Waldorf embodied, but she never ever acted masculine. She was constantly on the go, wanting to do things, wanting to achieve things, just wanting to be a high achiever, but she was still always feminine. It never ever overshadowed or overpowered her femininity because that was really her superpower. The next way to radiate feminine energy is intentional sensory nourishment. Now, I said this in one of my previous videos that feminine energy lives in the senses. Things like loud noises and chaotic visuals, they tend to dull feminine energy, while soft music, calm lighting, clean scents, those things amplify your feminine essence. So treating your senses to aesthetic, almost luxurious stimulation can be so lovely and grounding and just helps you be in touch with your femininity. Like using essential oils, turning on a diffuser, listening to calm, soulful music, wearing a lush, silky robe, filling your space with typically feminine colors like pink, purple, light blue, or pastels, creating beauty even when nobody else sees it but you. Curate your sensory diet as carefully as you curate your food. The next habit is practicing poise. So it's in the way that you speak, the way that you move, the way you carry yourself. It's moving in a steady, composed manner. It means now you never rush. You don't rush your words. You don't rush your walk. You don't rush your responses. Not to be annoying and lack urgency, but more in a mindful, calm manner. Saying don't rush is easier said than done, but think of it this way. When your thoughts are rushing and racing, your body follows. So try to practice pausing your internal dialogue. Try to be comfortable silencing your mind. Carrying yourself with poise also means that you observe more, listen more. You're not quick to speak, not quick to react. And you're also comfortable in silence. You don't rush to fill the weird silence. You also train your body language. Now, there's no one way that you do it, but it's in the fluidity. It's just in being fluid, being in tune with your body, intentionally calming and softening your body, softening your movement, softening your speech as well. Try to practice it. Never stiff, always fluid and poised. It also means in spaces where you would have reacted, you're not as quick to do it anymore. Now you pause before anything, you breathe, you release, and then you respond in a calm, composed manner. Never lose composure. And again, that is easier said than done, but it becomes easier with practice. Also radiate feminine energy when you stand firm on your standards and you're able to build self-trust. And I don't mean outwardly and in public. I mean being able to be confident in yourself and to trust yourself. Trusting yourself to make the right decisions, to follow through on what it is you said that you'll do, when you said that you'll do it, making promises to yourself and keeping them. This also means becoming sensitive to when your body says no. If your body rejects or declines something or someone, listen to your body. Honor yourself, your standards, your values. Have boundaries according to your intuition and never feel like you need to explain yourself. You are so much more respected and just radiate femininity when you stick to your words, you do not compromise on your standards or your values, and you definitely measure up to who you say you are. You say that you're that girl, and you are that girl. Now, like I mentioned before, listening to soulful music, bonus if it's a female singer. Music where they're actually singing words. Singing words. There's something about hearing upbeat, chaotic music like hip-hop and rap. Just an example. It just overwhelms the senses. While soulful, calm music feeds your senses way more than that chaotic, rushed, I don't want to call it garbage. Wholesome music with sophisticated melodies, where when you're listening to it, you can just move fluid, like I mentioned before. Where the instruments and the vocals are the stars of the show, where the lyrics speak to the heart and the soul, and not these lyrics that just spew profanity. And you know exactly what type of music I'm talking about. Listening to soulful, melodic music also calms your nervous system and moves you away from fight or flight into just a more relaxed state. The next one is prioritizing rest and not treating it like a reward. Now I get it. If you're an ambitious goal-getter, a lot of the times resting feels like, damn, I could have been doing something else. I could have been, working on whatever it is that I need to work on. Why am I resting? Why am I sleeping? Rest is not a reward for overproductivity. It's not something that you have to earn. Rest is nourishment, and you radiate femininity when you prioritize rest. If you do not rest, eventually the signs will begin to actually show on your face. They show. If you're overexerting yourself and never resting, then you are in masculine mode. Your beauty, your radiance, and your softness, they grow in rest and rejuvenation. The next one is embracing whimsy, embracing a little bit more of a childlike, playful way of being. You radiate feminine energy when you're fun, when you sing and dance and skip, and when you go frolicking. Just being whimsical, just being... Hey, think of somebody like Serena van der Woodsen, and here's another Gossip Girl reference. Serena, for all of her flaws, she radiated femininity, and one of the biggest reasons why was because she was childlike and she loved to have fun, and it made her magnetic. When you looked at her, there were a lot of things that were wrong with that girl, but if there was something Serena would do, is she would just embrace whimsy. Now, whimsy might not always come off as frilly skirts or flowing silhouettes. It's also just in the way that you're calm and fluid, again, the way that you just like to laugh and make other people laugh. You're just a joy to be around. And finally, let mystery exist. There is so much power in being a private and mysterious person. It makes you more magnetic. It makes people want to get to know you more. It means moving away from the TMI talk and just protecting your internal monologue. Not everything that you think, you need to say it. Not everything that you're going through or everything that has happened to you or every story that you can ever think of, you need to share with people. There is so much power in being a mysterious person. It actually makes you glow and radiate this feminine energy. You actually project higher self-worth when you're more selective about what you share about yourself. And the thing is that there's a lot of these times people just think that you just don't have anything going on for you, or that you just like, whatever, if you don't share. But I really believe there is so much power in not sharing. It also points towards you having boundaries that you respect and by default expect others to respect. So it means no more oversharing. Allow parts of yourself to remain unknown. Have secrets. Keep a diary. Mystery is depth and intrigue more than anything. Mystery also points to a woman with layers. And people love to try to peel them layers, but you need to be able to protect yourself. Protect your privacy, protect your peace. It also means that you'll allow yourself to be misunderstood whenever that happens. Do not ever feel the need to rush to define yourself. And that's it, girls. If this video was helpful, then I've done my part. Please return the favor by sticking around, checking out some of my other videos, subscribing and hitting the bell so you're always notified when I post. And I'll see you in the next one.